Alright folks, let's dive into a story that will stick with you long after this video ends. I'm your host today, and I want to start by thanking each of you for being here. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Let's get started. It was November 5, 2022, a day etched into my memory in ways I never imagined possible. The end of the semester had just wrapped up, and summer was on the horizon, promising long days filled with sunshine and freedom. But before all that, there was one more thing to do: catch up with old friends. Nathan was my best friend back then. We'd go months without seeing each other. But when we did, it was always special. We had this routine we never broke. Grab a cup of coffee, sit in the warm glow of the setting sun, and just talk until the night fell around us. It was our thing. But on that particular day, something felt different from the moment I stepped into the cafe to meet Nathan. The air seemed heavy, like there was an invisible weight pressing down on everything. And as we sat there, sipping our coffee, my mind kept drifting back to those ominous feelings that wouldn't go away no matter how hard I tried. "What's wrong?" Nathan asked, his voice tinged with concern. "I don't know," I replied, shaking my head. "I just feel like something isn't right today." But we pushed through the unease because what else could it be? We were just two friends enjoying a coffee before heading out for a walk under the stars. Little did we know that this was far from an ordinary day. As we walked down the street, the chill of the evening air brushed against our faces, and shadows crept into every corner. The bustling city around us seemed to quiet down as if even it sensed something amiss. I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease, like someone or something was watching us. "Can you feel it too?" I whispered to Nathan. He looked at me with a puzzled expression, then back at the deserted streets. "I think so," he said quietly. "Maybe we should head back?" But there was this strange force pulling us forward, compelling us to continue our walk under that starlit sky. We walked for what felt like hours, but in reality it couldn't have been more than a few minutes before everything changed. The air grew colder, the shadows darker. It was as if someone had turned off all the lights of the world except for those menacing eyes watching us from every corner. My heart pounded in my chest, and I could feel sweat breaking out on my skin despite the chill. We were alone, completely alone. "Do you see them?" Nathan asked, his voice barely above a whisper as he pointed towards a dark alleyway just ahead of us. My breath caught in my throat. Two figures lurked there, their faces obscured by darkness and shadows that seemed to move like living things. Fear gripped me so tightly I could hardly breathe. "Run," I whispered back, and we turned on our heels, running as fast as our legs would carry us. But it was no use. They were faster. The figures closed in around us, blocking every exit, cornering us into a trap that seemed impossible to escape from. Panic set in like an icy grip, tightening around my chest and squeezing the air from my lungs. "Give me your phone," one of them growled, his voice rough as sandpaper against my nerves. I fumbled with my pocket, hands shaking so badly I could barely hold on to it. As I handed over my phone, another figure stepped forward, eyes narrowing to dangerous slits. "Turn around." My mind raced, trying to find some way out of this nightmare scenario. But there was no escape, not now, not here. And as the realization dawned on me that we were truly trapped, a sense of resignation washed over me. This was it. The end had come for us both. But then, something incredible happened. Nathan didn't give up. He snapped out of his shock and ran like there was no tomorrow, leaving me behind in their grasp as they screamed at him to stop. But he kept going, and somehow, I found my feet again too. We raced through the streets, our hearts pounding against rib cages that felt ready to burst from the sheer terror coursing through them. Each step brought us closer to safety, but also closer to the sounds of pursuit behind us. Their harsh breathing, their angry demands for us to stop. "Help, yes, please!" I screamed at every passerby we passed. "Please help!" Eventually, we reached an intersection where Nathan's glasses had fallen off earlier during our flight. He wanted to go back and get them, but I knew it was too dangerous. We were lucky enough to find a woman waiting for her husband who offered us a ride home, a safe haven in the midst of chaos. Back at my house, I clung to my mother like never before, tears streaming down our faces as we hugged tightly. She held me close and whispered words of comfort that somehow managed to ease some of the terror still gripping my soul. That night changed everything for Nathan and me. Our friendship was irrevocably altered by the fear that lingered long after those men were gone. And while I refused ever again to walk alone at night, every time I look back on that day, it serves as a stark reminder of how one moment can forever shape your life. So here's what I want you to take away from this story. If your gut tells you something is off, listen. Trust those feelings because they're often trying to protect us in ways we don't even understand until it's too late. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing a piece of my journey with me. If this video resonated with you or helped you see things differently, please share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, stay safe out there, but also trust yourself when danger feels near because sometimes our instincts are all we have. Until next time, stay strong and keep watching for signs that might just save you from a nightmare scenario like mine. Thank you.